But first, the defense will make its closing arguments today in the trial of Jodi Arias, accused of murdering her one-time boyfriend. This after an emotional day in court as prosecutors made their final case to the jury. NBC's Diana Alvear is in Phoenix with this story. Diana, good morning to you.
Savannah, good morning. The prosecutor came out swinging during his closing argument, telling the jury anything less than a conviction on first-degree murder would be an injustice.
She will not let him rest in peace. But now, instead of a gun, instead of a knife, she uses lies.
Point by point, prosecutor Juan Martinez took apart the testimony of Jodi Arias, highlighting inconsistencies and contradictions in an attempt to show the jury she knew what she was doing when she killed Travis Alexander in June of 2008. Arias claims it was self-defense.
You have her lying about those gas cans. And then you have her lying about the license plate. And you have her turning off her phone so that she can't be found in Arizona.
He's tried to say she's a liar, she's a manipulator, she's a premeditator. She thought about this, and then she did it. This is not in the heat of passion. This is not the victim of domestic violence.
The jury also saw graphic photos of Alexander, some so gruesome his sisters were reduced to tears.
He doesn't have any weapon whatsoever. Not only does he not have that, he doesn't have any clothing on. And as he sits there, he doesn't have any dignity either. She's taken that away from him.
Martinez reminded jurors of what Alexander said days before his death.
You, Jodi Arias, are the worst thing that ever happened to me.
At times it seemed too much for Arias. She sobbed and dabbed at her face. But Martinez told the jury that if they valued facts more than Arias' lies, they had only one choice.
Return a verdict of guilty as to first-degree murder for no other reason than it's your duty and the facts and the law support it.
Now, the jury can convict on a lesser charge, such as second-degree murder or manslaughter. As for the defense, we're going to be hearing their closing argument in just a few hours. And after that, it's up to the jury. Savannah.
Diana Alvear in Phoenix. Thank you. Lisa Bloom is a Today legal analyst. Lisa, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Real quickly to pick up on Diana's point, being instructed on those lesser charges means what?
Well, that's a victory for the defense, because now if the jury wants to compromise, they can on manslaughter, and she does not get the death penalty.
Closing arguments after a 4-month trial. This is a big task for any lawyer. Do you think the prosecutor did a good job of weaving together all the evidence and telling a compelling story of guilt?
Oh, absolutely. He was so relatable. He didn't use notes. He spoke right to the jury in plain English. I give him very high marks. And, you know, ultimately, in this pornographic, salacious case, it comes down to some very unsexy facts about a rental car, a gas can. You know, why didn't she take her own car and stop for gas like a normal person when she drove 1,000 miles to the scene of the killing?
And just for those who aren't following it as closely, that matters because for prosecutors, the issue is they have to prove premeditation, a planned killing, if they want to have a death penalty eligible case.
And that's right. And the prosecution has hard, cold facts on their side. The defense is going to rely on psychological evidence, Jodi Arias' own testimony. That's much more difficult to persuade a jury about.
Let's talk about tone. Juan Martinez is known as a bulldog in the courtroom. He was true to form yesterday, absolutely eviscerated her. Do you think that is an effective tone? I mean, a prosecutor is supposed to have righteous indignation. Is there ever a risk there that people will start feeling sorry for Jodi Arias?
Well, he is very careful about that. He even went after her yesterday in closing argument for crying in the courtroom. Now, of course, it's a stressful situation. Of course, she's crying. But this is a mostly male jury, and I think he wanted to set a tone. Don't feel sorry for her. Don't fall for those tears. You know, guy to guy, I think that's the tone he was setting. I think that was very smart.
He also made it personal, telling the jurors, she lied to you. She lied to you right here in this room. Do you think that was effective?
Jurors hate being lied to. They will forgive almost anything, but not somebody who comes in and lies to them. I think that was a terrific point on his part.
All right, and we're going to hear from the defense coming up, and obviously it's all about proving self-defense or convincing the jurors of that.
That's right.
Lisa Bloom, thank you so much.